This is an ABP Live Podcast.
Had a long day? Missed out on what's happening around you? No worries. Welcome to Let's Catch Up, an ABP Live podcast where we will be catching up all the latest news and the top headlines in the entire day. So let's get started. US House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi was set to visit Taiwan on Tuesday. Two people briefed on the matter said, as China warned that its military would never sit idly by if she visited the self-ruled island claimed by Beijing. Chinese fighter jets are said to have been deployed near self-ruled Taiwan to pile up pressure against the US House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to the island on Tuesday, as per the reports. The United States said Russia was using Ukraine's biggest nuclear power plant as a nuclear shield by stationing troops there, preventing Ukrainian forces from returning fire and risking a terrible nuclear accident. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Washington was deeply concerned that the Zaporizhzhia plant, which Russia was accused of firing shells dangerously close to in March, was now a Russian military base used to fire on nearby Ukrainian forces. The Balochistan Awami Party (BAP) on Tuesday confirmed that it had arrived at an agreement with the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI) to form a coalition government in Balochistan. The BAP also stated that they would join hands with the PTI to form government at the centre, as reported by The Dawn. The maiden flight of India's small satellite launch vehicle is scheduled to take off on August 7, 2022. The Indian Space Research Organisation announced on Monday. The mission, called SSLV-D1, is the first demonstration flight of the launch vehicle and will take off from Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota at 9:18 am IST on August 7. As dawn broke on Sunday, July 31st, Al-Qaeda chief Al-Zawahiri, one of the masterminds of the 9/11 attacks who took over the leadership of Al-Qaeda after Osama bin, walked out on the balcony of his safe house in Kabul, Afghanistan, a place where he was suspected to have often lingered. US intelligence, aware of his regular movement, fired 2 Hellfire missiles at the Al-Qaeda leader as he stood, eliminating one of the most wanted terrorists of the globe. President of Maldives Ibrahim Mohammed Solih met Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday at the Hyderabad House in New Delhi. Solih is on a 4-day visit to India since Monday. Solih met External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Monday after arriving in New Delhi. S. Jaishankar said India's Neighbourhood First policy and the Maldives India First policy are complementary, and the two policies take the special partnership forward. Days after the ED questioned Congress chief Sonia Gandhi in an alleged money laundering case connected to the National Herald newspaper, the probe agency is today raiding around 12 locations, including the offices of the newspaper in Delhi and several other premises linked to Associated Journal Limited, the company that runs the newspaper. Sources say that the probe agency is likely to attach these properties after the searches. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Monday dismissed allegations that the Modi government was working only for Ambani and Adani and said opposition-ruled states were also signing agreements with the two leading business houses. The minister, replying to a debate on price rise in the Lok Sabha, said the Congress government in Rajasthan signed 2 agreements related to renewable energy with the Adani Group a day after Rahul Gandhi, while speaking in Jaipur, accused the centre of working for the two industrial conglomerates. The production of the most awaited Telugu movie Pushpa The Rule, which is the sequel to the Pushpa The Rise, has been put on hold amid the ongoing stoppage of work called by the producers' union in the Telugu film industry. The filmmakers of the Allu Arjun starrer had plans to take the movie into production in the 3rd week of August. However, the producers have extended their solidarity with the strike and have decided to wait till the matter is resolved. K-pop boy band BTS might still be able to perform overseas while serving in the military, South Korea's Defense Minister Lee Jong-suk said on Monday, as the country debates shortening mandatory military service for K-pop stars to 3 weeks from about 2 years. The next episode of Coffee with Karan is only a few days away and has 2 superstars as guests. Bollywood favorite Kareena Kapoor Khan and Aamir Khan are on the couch together with week ahead of the release of their film Lal Singh Chaddha. Sending the internet into a tizzy, filmmaker and host of the show Karan Johar has shared the promo of the episode, in which the 3 stars are seen pulling each other's leg and having a great time. Harjinder, who comes from a humble family background, bagged bronze medal in the women's 71 kg weightlifting category. She reached the bronze position after gold medal Favourite Joyeza of Nigeria failed in all 3 attempts in the clean and jerk event. President Draupadi Murmu called the Indian weightlifter Harjinder Kaur's journey to win bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games an inspiring story. 4 South American countries will on Tuesday launch an unprecedented joint bid to host the 2030 World Cup with the hope of bringing the global showpiece back to its first home. The country's intention to bid has long been in the making. More than 3 years ago, they committed to create a local organizing committee to coordinate with South American football's governing body, CONMEBOL, to plan their bid. But it has taken until now for the UNTOS 2030 Together 2030 bid to be made official. Indian cyclist Meenakshi suffered a crash and was run over by one of her rivals in the women's 10km scratch race at the Commonwealth Games. The horror incident saw Meenakshi fall from her bike before sliding down the bank on the bend. New Zealand's Bryony Botha was also caught by the crash as a cycle ran over Meenakshi's, and Botha too fell from her bike. Soon after the accident, medics rushed to the scene and both the riders were taken out of the race. Sensex Nifty end flats amid volatility, power PSU banks gain, realty drags. Indus I&D Bank, Asian Paints, NTPC, Maruti Suzuki and Power Grid Corp were among the major gainers on the Nifty. The losers included UPL, Hero MotoCorp, SBI Life Insurance, Britannia Industries and Tech Mahindra. So these were the top headlines for the day. The scripting and the voiceover for this bulletin was done by me, Prachi Dureja, and the sound designing for this episode has been done by Lalit. For all the latest news, stay tuned into Let's Catch Up every evening on ABP Live Podcasts.
This is an ABP Live Podcast.